up, you guys? Welcome to the March 3rd edition of NBA 3-Ball presented by Establish the Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher. Getting ready to break down the Tuesday action, preview some wacky Wednesday, wild Tuesday too, in 10 minutes. Hit us with a thumbs up and subscribe, please. Let's start with the news, and we'll go to Toronto. We have no OG Anunoby, no Fred VanVleet, no Pascal Siakam, no Pat McCaw, no Malachi Flynn. They're missing basically all but one of their point guards in Kyle Lowry. So, interestingly, their coach had said that DeAndre Bembry and Jalen Harris will be the point guard options behind Kyle Lowry. So, that, if you want to put your tinfoil hat on, makes you think that Terrence Davis starts. And they use him in that role, almost like FVV has. So, you pretty much have to have Terrence Davis circled right now. And it's a pretty decent matchup against the Pistons. So those guys will be, I don't think they're really leaning into those guys too much. But yeah, that comment really makes me catch interest in Terrence Davis II. And then obviously, you're going to be looking at Norm. You're going to be looking at a little bit more Stanley Johnson. Certainly, Chris Boucher is going to be crazy chalk now with all these guys missing. Again, not the greatest matchup against Mason Plumlee and Madman Isaiah Stewart. But, all that usage out of the picture. You're pretty much building with a lot of Raptors tomorrow or today. Moving to the Rockets, and they just can't win any games. They've been really bad. We've got some injuries as well. Daniel House is questionable with that knee injury he had, did not return. Eric Gordon, same thing with that knee injury. That was 2 games ago, kept him out the last game. And then also David Nwaba didn't play in the last game. But this time they put him on the injury report after they said that he was an emergency-only kind of a guy on his shooting hand. So, big yikes. They're going to need to play. If all those guys can't play, Sterling Brown certainly is going to play a ton. John Wall's going to play a bunch. Victor Oladipo is going to play a bunch. Without Nwaba, they're going to have to play Jayshawn Tate more playing time. But yeah, I guess the cheap guys you'd be looking at would be Sterling Brown. This team just needs so much help offensively. And I guess another thing, I added Kevin Porter Jr. In a couple leagues. Now's the time as we get up to the break. If your league's competitive, I think now's the time you grab him. The big injury question mark of the day is going to be Luka Doncic with a questionable tag for his back injury. It sounded pretty minor. I didn't really hear anything about it. Rick Carlisle didn't mention it after the game. Probably think he goes, but obviously if not, you are, talking about Terrence Davis, you're playing Jalen Brunson everywhere. Kristaps Porzingis will benefit. Certainly more shots for Tim Hardaway Jr. We know Josh Richardson can handle the ball a little bit. I couldn't imagine how great, against OKC, Jalen Brunson would just be set to go. Rick Carlisle really talked him up yesterday. Let's get to the basketball and start with the Grizzlies getting the win in D.C. John Morant, really the story here, 35 and 10. First time he's hit those 2 numbers, that's 10 assists. And then also we had no Kyle Anderson, no Grayson Allen again, so we saw Brandon Clark start, played really well in 34 minutes. Killian Tilly into the rotation. Taylor Jenkins always likes to go 10 deep. And DeAnthony Melton on fire in the first half. Hit 5 threes in the first half. Finished with a career high 6 of them for 20 points. Played great. Valanciunas in early foul trouble. Really bad foul trouble. Still was able to manage a 11 and 16 line. Didn't bury you. If you played him DFS, he would have been an awesome play if not for the foul trouble. To the Wizards, and Russell Westbrook, pretty good stat line as far as the points, rebounds, and assists. Got 3 steals, 8 turnovers. Chucked 7 threes after Scott Brooks previously had said he was twisting his arm not to take so many threes. But he's getting pretty good looks. Center rotation is just such a mess. It's the hardest thing to project ever. Robin Lopez started the second half and still only got 14 minutes. It's just stay away. It was wild on Tuesday with some injury news, starting with Kawhi Leonard here getting a late scratch after he was kind of in the lineup. Nobody knew why for the longest time. Everyone thought it was COVID or something, but it turns out it was back spasms. Backs tightened up before. This has happened before. Last year, I remember the Clippers had him on the screen as a starter, and he comes out, he's not on the court. It's Kawhi Leonard. This happens. But Marcus Morris also had a concussion, so they were really short on bodies. Reggie Jackson went for a season-high 25. Certainly the All-Star break coming up will help them here. They have a game on Thursday. Maybe Kawhi probably just sits out. Celtics get the win, get a great game from Kemba with 25 and 6 assists. Jaylen Brown was real hot after his knee injury. He returned here and slowed down. Said after the game his knee felt great after a win. So that's cool to see. And then really the headline, I guess, from a fantasy perspective is Time Lord. Out-minuted Tristan Thompson 22 to 21. Tristan Thompson, no foul trouble. Actually got off to a red hot start with 7 points in the first 4 minutes to bury one of our props, unfortunately. But yeah, Robert Williams. Stevens wants to play him more later in the season, so you got to believe him with how good he is. So I mean, he's obviously has to be rostered. I can't imagine he's on any waiver wires. But yeah, Tice is fine, and Jason Tatum just cold. He'll get it figured out. He's just too good not to. Moving to the Hawks, and I got my curses out before I recorded this because we're talking Nate McMillan here, guys. And guess what? He's lying to us again, guys, because John Collins, yes, the same John Collins who went off against the Heat in the last game, the same John Collins who was interviewed at halftime during this game, did not play in the fourth quarter because it was a matchup decision. Are you kidding me? God, he's just such a liar. But we're going to have to deal with this all season. I'm going to have to calm down when I do the Hawks all the time. But yeah, Bogdan returned, looked pretty good, really good passes into the post. Thought he looked great, 60 minutes, had a minutes cap on him. But this is not fun anymore, man. Lloyd Pierce is my favorite guy to cover, and now I get this lying Nate McMillan. It's a tough scene out here. Moving to the Heat, yeah, I mean, they just were flat. They really missed Jimmy Butler. Their guards all couldn't make their shots. And yeah, well, great move by Nate McMillan with the matchup move, with the win, keeping him at 80 points. Yeah, because that's totally why you did it, bro. But yeah, Bam was really struggling. Capella locked him down. Yeah, I mean, they missed Jimmy Butler. It's pretty much simple as that. Easy win for the Spurs as they get Keldon Johnson back, who was going to have, quote, a light workout, and it was just that. He had 11 minutes all in the first half. Looked good. Nothing really to say there. He'll be out there for the last game, while the other Spurs players are probably not back for the first half finale. DeJounte Murray's just on their level. Nothing. He's awesome. And Trey Lyles really came through here. 18 points. He's really talented, offensively especially. So it's going to be tough for him to find minutes. The Spurs may have some trade rumors and everything, but no LaMarcus Aldridge here. He's also on the trade block, but it was just an illness, so don't really read anything into that. And Lonnie Walker lost his shot a little bit today, 1 of 10 from three. He's a little inconsistent, despite what Pop said in the last game, how he's finding more consistency. The other big news was Derrick Rose. Health and safety protocols kept him out. That was a surprise. So we got Frank Ntilikina got the start. Looked pretty good. Made all 3 of his threes, while Emmanuel quickly chucked 21 attempted shots, made 6 threes, scored 26 points. I mean, he's a scorer. He didn't get to the line that much, only 4 times. As the Spurs had a really good job front court limiting them, and Nerlens Noel played most of garbage time, which is crazy, man. Tibbs is never going to change, and it's just too much right now. Nuggets get a big and easy win against the Bucks as Joker goes for the Clerk special with a 37. That's including me with 11 assists, triple-double. I mean, it's Jokic. He's the MVP right now. I mean, there's really nothing to say. Porter Jr. got in some early foul trouble, still is able to have a decent line with the steal on the block, didn't get there for you in DFS. Will Barton, pretty active as usual. And Jamal Murray, man, he is fixed. Said this 10 games now, it feels like. As PJ Dozier also was really big time here. And Murray did also pull his right hammy, but he returned, looked fine. Hopefully nothing to watch there. Bucks get some pretty good games out of Giannis and Middleton, but just didn't have anything else. Drew Holiday, 18 minutes again. Garbage time may have been a little bit of a factor in limiting him there. But yeah, nothing much to add to that besides just oof. Pulling up the ad page just to hit the late game really fast. Devin Booker got ejected, and we saw Marcus Gasol protocols didn't play. Kyle Kuzma was almost a late scratch with Markieff Morris getting the start. Also Montrezl Harrell obviously starting for Gasol. Saw some Jared Dudley center minutes. Taylor Horton-Tucker limited minutes but looked pretty good. And then Jay Crowder also got the start to bump out Frank Kaminsky, likely matchup related against LeBron. Let's get to the ads. I'm assuming Bogdan Bogdanovic and Robert Williams are on rosters. And I put Kevin Porter Jr. on top. I know he didn't play today. That kind of breaks my own rule. But I think everyone in a decent league knows that when the All-Star break hits, it's time to add Kevin Porter Jr. So, got to be a day early. So I'm putting him in here now. Because I think he'll be really popular and people are going to know. People know that you have to add Kevin Porter Jr. It's no secret. I get questions about him all the time. So do it today. I think he's better adding DeAnthony Melton. Melton's not in the rotation every night. He definitely should be, but he's not. And the coach make the decision. So I wouldn't cut anybody great from Melton. And then Monte Morris is just steady. He's not great, but he's never going to really hurt you. PJ Dozier, kind of, we know he's the South Carolinian Army knife, as Mike Malone calls him, but he's kind of fine. And then these LA guys are obviously related to Kuzma missing time. Maybe Kuzma missed time because LeBron sits tomorrow, doesn't want to go, maybe wants to sit out. And then also, obviously, Marc Gasol sitting out, Kawhi also. So that's it. You guys take care. Catch you next time.